Black markets kids used to run in their schools, part 1. A teacher posted this story on the internet. At the school she used to teach at, the cafeteria did not season any food, so everything tasted bland. Well, one kid got a brilliant idea. He would buy bags of salt and pepper packets and sell them to kids in the cafeteria. He charged 50 cents for one salt and one pepper and made hundreds of dollars in his first month. But then the school shut him down, and kids went back to eating bland cafeteria food. Black markets kids used to run in their schools, part 2. Somebody posted about this that happened at their old elementary school. Apparently, these kids were selling their parents' jewelry for ice cream money. For example, one kid took his grandma's engagement ring, brought it to school, and sold it for 50 cents, and then used that 50 cents to buy ice cream. Black markets kids used to run in their schools, part 3. I found this guy online who shared his story. When he was in 4th grade, he sold warheads. His mom knew a distributor, so he got a bunch of them for cheap. He would sell the warheads for 50 cents each, and the kids loved it. He made tons of money and things were going very well until one day, he stood on top of the jungle gym and tossed warheads to kids in the playground. Long story short, it started a riot and kids started beating each other up to get to the warheads. After several injuries, the teachers shut down his business. Black markets kids used to run in their schools, part 4. This one happened at a middle school. Apparently the school's snack machine sucked, so a group of kids decided to make and sell their own Kool-Aid gummy bears. They sold bags of them for $1 each, and they were so popular they sold 100 bags a day. But the school shut them down because they were making a mess in the bathrooms. But that didn't fly with the students. Everybody needed their Kool-Aid gummy bears. They were pissed. So this gave other kids an idea. They would try to make the same recipe and sell it to kids. Before you know it, everybody was making gummy bears and trying to take down the competition. Soon the school said anybody selling or eating gummy bears will be suspended. And just like that, the middle school gummy bear wars was over. Black markets kids used to run in their schools, part 6. This one's a bit different. In middle school, this kid and his friends opened up a casino in the cubby room during lunch. They only knew how to play blackjack, so that was what they played. And it started off small. They were betting things like chips and pudding cups, but soon after, everybody was betting their lunch money. Well, this kid was a hustler and he was winning everybody's money. Some kid got sad, told the teacher, and the casino was shut down forever. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 7. This one's a bit different. This kid had access to a ton of zip ties, and he would pull pranks on a ton of people. Like this one, and let's not forget the zip tie a person to a chair prank. Well, eventually, those people he pranked wanted to get revenge on him. He was the only person that bought zip ties to school, so he sold them zip ties. And once those kids were done getting him back, they pulled pranks on other people. And then those people wanted revenge on them, so they bought zip ties. He made a ton of money. And this is what started the great battle of the zip ties. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 8. This one girl in high school used to make and sell cookies. People loved them and she was making tons of freaking money. But once the teachers heard about this, they told her to stop. Well, she had an idea. Every morning, students would give her money for no reason. And then at lunch, she would give the students cookies for no reason. I mean, what are they going to do? You can't stop the hustle. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 9. This one high school had a cafe, and the cafe sold peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for $4 each. $4 for a PB&J? Well, one student had a great idea. He bought bread, peanut butter, and jelly, and left it in her locker. All people had to do was shoot her a text if they wanted a PB&J. They'd go to her locker and she'd make them one for only $1. The school shut her down because she was taking away business from somebody who needed the money more. $4 is way too much for a PB&J. She was doing the right thing. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 10. This kid in high school was in the drama club, and the drama club had a microwave. Well, for Christmas, he got a bacon rack that lets you cook bacon in the microwave. So he got an idea. Every day he brought tons of bacon to school, cooked it in the microwave in the drama room, and sold them for $1 a strip. Let's just say he was making bacon while making bacon. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 11. One high school had the options for students to get an extra locker at the beginning of the school year for only $10. So these two girls did it. They paid $10 and they shared a locker. But they never really used it, so they kept snacks in there for themselves. Well, their friend got an idea. He rented a locker and kept sodas in there, and eventually tons of things like this. He gave the combo out to a few people. Said, take whatever you want, whenever you want, just leave a few bucks every now and then. Well, the word got out. Before you know it, he was running his own membership service. People had to pay per week to keep the combination. They were even trying to figure out how to safely put a hot water heater in there for coffee and tea, but they graduated before they could make it happen. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 12. One of my followers sent this one in. When he was in middle school, him and his friend would sell hot peppers. They would sell them for $6 each. I know what you're thinking, who would pay $6 for a hot pepper? Well, kids were buying and eating them to impress their friends and girls, and they were selling out every day. They noticed these kids were chugging waters after eating the peppers, so they got a new idea. They started selling milk cartons for $10 each. It's expensive, but the kids that had the money bought them every time because their mouths were on fire. He made $800 in 2 weeks, and then the principal shut him down. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 13. This one's kind of messed up, and I'm telling you, do not do this. It happened at a middle school. There were important tests coming up in every subject, and one kid got pink eye. But instead of staying home, he got an idea. He came to school and sold his pink eye for $5 to kids that didn't want to take the test. What he did was, he would stick his finger in his eye and then into the other person's eye to give them pink eye. That person would have pink eye and have to stay home and miss the test. Eventually, other kids started doing this when they got pink eye, and it became a huge problem for the middle school. Black markets kids ran in their schools, part 14. This one happened at a high school. Let's call this kid Bill. Everybody knows these calculators are very expensive. Well, Bill would steal these calculators from students and then sell them to other students. It became a huge problem at the school. Everybody's calculators were getting stolen. Little did they know Bill was behind it all. Principal made an announcement. Everybody had to get their name engraved on their calculator. Well, Bill got sloppy. One day he was selling one of these to another student and accidentally sold this student back the calculator he stole from him. When the student saw his name engraved on the calculator, he punched Bill right in the face. They got into a huge fight and then Bill was expelled. Here's a fun fact though. Years later, Bill tried to rob a taxi driver with a squirt gun, but the taxi driver pulled a real gun on him and Bill went to jail. Things my old carnival job taught me about carnivals, part 2. I'm not speaking for every single carnival. This is just my experience. Let's begin. So sometimes very highly skilled people come and play the games, and they absolutely crush it. They're winning every time, taking all the prizes, and wiping us clean. Well, where I worked, we had a few of those people who would get their pictures from the security footage and hang it in the back. They were banned from playing games, and if we ever saw them, we had to ask them to leave. Carnival couldn't fool them, so they weren't allowed to play.